Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of those out of this world videos. And today is pretty much in a way a second part to my first Ascension video I made 3 weeks ago. And you can check out that video here. If you're new to this video, please watch this video first before you watch this video of Ascension, because in a way it's a continuation of what I talked about. And my goodness, making this video kind of transformed my life, because it gave me a lot of proof as to what is happening with the rest of you. Because I remember last week last video that I said, okay, go to this link and if you want to contact me, and you guys were writing on my social media, on my YouTube. But the next morning when I woke up, first of all, people on my Facebook said your website wasn't working in the morning. So I looked, and then it wasn't working. What happened was 14,000 people within one night from all my social media came into my website, which kind of like, my website is not handled for this volume. I'm not like some big website. So obviously I had to call my administrator and then upgrade to a better server, the platinum server, so it can handle up to 100,000 now. But yeah, that'll be a miracle if it reaches that. But I opened up my Gmail, as I do every morning, and then that's where I saw Astrology KRS inbox. Literally 17 to 20 pages were just from people emailing from my website. And for some reason, I clicked on every single one of them because I didn't know what happened. I'm like, was I on some national television? Was I talked about on some big media outlet? But it was simply coming through that video. And so many of you related to what I was going through. Because we'll see what's happening with Ascension process, that from 2015 all the way to 2022, it's this shift, this dimensional shift and this consciousness shift for select few people. And in my last video, I talked about what I was feeling. I was feeling an anxiety and panics, and not eating any non-veg food, not even drinking for 2 weeks straight, and all the other things that I talked about, and how I talked about, this portal thing opening up in second floor of my house. You guys all related to that. So I knew it wasn't some placebo effect as many will think. Like, oh, all the people are commenting and saying they're feeling the same way. Oh, am I feeling the same way? Yeah, I guess I'm feeling the same way. Okay, let me write it on his comment. No. This was very real. All of you from January itself have been feeling this shift. And you also felt this loss of identity. Who am I? Why am I here? I know I'm not this three-dimensional being. I'm not here as a human. There's something bigger than, what we have learned in our textbooks. And then when I was reading your emails, most of you were like, okay, I know you didn't eat meat for 2 weeks and drink. How can I quit? Because I know you were off of meat and alcohol, and I did it for a couple of days, I couldn't, so please help me. And so I saw a lot of these, including on my social media network. And one thing I'm going to say about this, and I've learned this through the spiritual people that I've come across just lately, is that do not force yourself to quit meat or quit drinking. I haven't. I did it for 2 weeks. My body rejected it. But then suddenly my energy came back, and I'm like, okay, wow, let me take a sip of the champagne. Let me drink this beer. And I took it. I enjoyed it. My body, which is a vessel, enjoyed what it got, what it's used to. Back to eating meat, whether we're eating duck, chicken, lamb. But the difference is this. The first thing you got to realize is that our body is a vessel. As much as we want to be connected to the astral world, how do I connect to the, like people of other dimension, other planets like Pleiadians and Andromedans, or any kind of a spiritual being who can connect to me? How do I do that? You got to understand, body is this physical three-dimensional vessel that works on the physics of this universe, physics of the plane that we live in. So you quitting alcohol and meat, just giving it up, I'm not going to do it anymore. Yeah, sure, you can do that for 24 hours. But then the brain, the endorphins will be like, okay, we need our juice. Where is it? You will feel jittery. Your hands will shake. No sugar, no meat. And then you will finally be like, all right, I need to eat. Bam, bam, bam. And then what's going to happen? You're quickly going to eat a lot of it. Instead of just doing your regular everyday thing, eating 1 cheeseburger, you're going to order like 3 Big Macs and eat those. That's not how you quit. Remember, if somebody is an alcoholic, if somebody is a drug addict doing heroin and cocaine or meth, whatever, when they go to a rehab, what do? Do they chain and lock all their drugs? No. They give them their first regular dose for the first week. Then what they do, from this much, they decrease it to this much, then this much, then this much, then this much, then this. And to a point where the brain is at such a trained condition that it can quit and not have it the next day. This is the same thing you have to do. Don't quit all the way. If your body wants it, if your body desires it, let it have it. Because this is what happened. Change is happening. Without you doing it or not, change is happening. The way I can see it is me and my wife now must incorporate a green vegetable in our diet. From breakfast, lunch to dinner. Before, we used to get like breakfast from any kind of fast food chain. Let's get this, this, and this. Now I cannot take that. I'm like, if I'm going to eat meat, I want to cook it myself and I want fresh. Unless, of course, you're in a very desperate situation on a road trip. But I must have spinach now. Green beans or spinach, broccoli, I must have it. Something that I never desired before unless my mom was cooking palak paneer or okra, Indian style. Only then I would jump on it. But now, naturally, my body's like, I need green in my diet. Okay, saw that major change coming. Then I saw the fact that, okay, I'm drinking, I'm eating meat, but the quantity has decreased a little bit. Even though it came back, it decreased a little bit. Now, if I got buzzed from, let's say, 3 glasses of champagne, now half a glass just does the trick. So what's happening? Body is slowly letting you know that, I'm not desiring it as much. You can give it to me and I want it, but yeah, I'm not desiring it. So naturally, you don't do that. Then, the other thing you guys concurred with me was the back pain. Lower back pain, especially at 3 a.m., it still happens. I wake up. My wife now has the same back pain. I went to a chiropractor, did all the thing, adjusted my back, spine, still that back pain is there. What I found out is that our root chakra is now slowly starting to open through the energy of the universe. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. Physical thing that is happening with the shift. The root chakra is right at the base of your spine, where the pain is occurring, right where your buttocks and your spine is. What's also you will notice is that your sexual energy is increasing. You're more sexual now than before. This is why root chakra is not, it's like imagine the earthquake coming on the root chakra. Things are moving, things are shaking, you're panicked, you don't know what's going on. Why am I feeling all the sexual energy? Why am I feeling this back pain? Well, that's because the universe's frequency is now starting to adjust things the way they should be. What's going to happen slowly, your root chakra, solar plex, heart, root, throat, everything will open up slowly. Which brings me to my third point that you guys sent me in the email. You're like, Kapiel, you were talking about, chakras and things are happening. How do I open up my chakra? Then a lot of you sympathized with me. You're like, oh my goodness, thank you for opening and telling us what you're going through. It's so brave of you. Here, watch this video. It'll help you open up your chakras. Let me address this one thing to you guys. Opening a chakra is not as easy by watching some YouTube video, playing some music that you can put on your headphone and meditate. If that was the case, the whole world would be changed. Chakra opening, let me tell you, the way it happens, this is my personal opinion on how I found this information because I've tried all these things. And it does not work that way. What you need is, first of all, a very spiritual person, a divine sage who is connected to the other end. Doesn't matter male or female. Female energy is actually stronger. You need a very divine person. And how do you know who's a divine person? we have gone through many, spiritual grouping and seminars, and you sit there and you don't feel anything. You're like, what is this? You brought me here to the meeting to meet this special person. Okay, well, I mean, it was okay. I don't really know if I want to follow all this stuff. But let me tell you, when you come across a real divine person connected to the fourth and fifth dimension and the other beings, the spiritual entities, as soon as you come into the room in their presence, you will feel this wave come on yourself and you'll be like, oh, you will not say anything to the person who brought you here the first time. You'll simply go and sit and you just want to stare at them. You want to be under their presence. Because what's happening is this person is emitting energy and frequency that is going out like wave and spreading to other peoples, and it's making them realize this is something important that you should listen to. And how a chakra is open, according to my personal knowledge, this is not the Holy Grail, is that the Guru will give you a scared mantra, sacred mantra, and all of you in a group will do meditation while the Guru is in meditation, and that sacred mantra will start opening your chakras. And not in a one go. It will take one chakra to be open in either a week, 2 weeks, one session, depending upon how your frequency is aligned. Then, why is it that you need a guru? You can take a sacred mantra on the phone and then just start doing meditation. No, because it's like this. It's like you're opening up your door to your wealth and saying, all the good spirits in my neighborhood, please come in and take this wealth. I'm just going to go sleep, but I know you guys need all this wealth. Please come and have it. Guess who else is hearing this? All the negative, malefic energy is hearing this, and they're coming inside too. So when you open up your chakra, and this is from my brother from past life, Sunil, who I bought last week or 2 weeks ago on channel, he talked about this. And after I researched more on this, I found that these energies will come into your chakras. And when your chakra closes, instead of just having a normal nothing in your body, now you have negative energy in your root chakra, which is going to completely haywire your sexual energy. So what a guru does, the spiritual sage, he will, through his powers and frequency, he will at the same time, everybody who is sitting in front of him will control the malevolent energy. Not letting the malefic energy go inside and only the positive. And then when the positive there, the chakra is flowing, rotating, he will protect it and block it. And he will do this with every chakra. That's how you open up your chakra. If you can open up a chakra with an audio, which I'm not sure, I'm indifferent to it. If you can, be careful. You don't know who's coming in, who's going out. You're not connected to the divine right now that you can control these energies. You can completely go haywire by doing these things. So when you're sending me these videos, and I've seen this video millions of times, I have heard them, meditated on them, and here I am again as a three-dimensional being in front of you without any changes, or changes are very minute. But naturally now, the universe is opening up the lowest chakra first. How is it that we can see that things are changing? Just in the morning on my social media network, I asked people on multiple social media that have you had birds crashing in front of your window, your backyard window screen? Have birds been crashing? Because for the past month, we have had 6-7 birds crash at this one spot and die, and we have dead birds around. Yesterday, I actually saw a bird crash, and that's where I'm like, what the hell's going on? I told my wife. My wife then contacts her friends who are in the same kind of a field, a spiritual field that they're in. She finds out that all of them have had birds crashing in front of their house. Then in the morning when I asked this question, literally over 80% of you are saying, yes, in the last 3 weeks, I've had birds, crows, coming and crashing on my car window, on my house window. Whoa, what the hell's going on? I can't even believe that you just mentioned this. I was going to ask you this. What is happening is that the magnetic pole of our planet is starting to shift in 2015. And this is confusing the birds because birds rely on the magnetic frequency to where to fly and go. When they see that north is, instead of flying above here, and this is our backyard wall, they're seeing that they need to fly down here and they're crashing. So this is a scientific thing that is happening, that magnetic poles are starting to shift. And it will take 7 years for them to fully shift from north to south. It's not like United States gonna turn upside down. No, it's not physical Earth. It's the magnetic pole that is changing. And with this shift, there's a new energy of the magnetic pole that will be affecting people around the world. Yet again, not all, but some. Some people will be feeling this energy. And this is going to be the consciousness shift from our stupid, ignorant consciousness to understanding what everything really is. Like, you know how when you come across a genius, like this one little 11-year-old boy just graduated from college with the highest of mathematics and science. And sometimes you feel like, oh my goodness, I couldn't even do a little fraction, and he's graduating from advanced calculus, matrix calculus. When you are at a point in your consciousness, you will actually get this information yourself. You will suddenly wake up saying that, oh, I can do fractions and I think I know what calculus is. This is the shift that is happening. So you see all these birds, because birds are very much connected to they migrate through the help of the magnetic poles. And as I told you in my last Ascension video, that above on our second floor, there is a portal opening. And I know it sounds cliche. Many of you think I'm just going cuckoo. There are people writing blogs on me saying, what's happening with Kapiel Raaj? Is he going cuckoo? That's fine. But I have to be very real with you. I have to be practical with you of what is happening, what's there. So that opening of portal is happening due to the shift of these magnetic poles. It's like, imagine there's a hole, and you know, like a salt, when you have to use the salt, you have to shift your, the cap so you can see the holes. Same thing is happening. The holes are there, okay? But everything was closed. Now with this magnetic shift, what's happening is the hole is coming so that salt can come out, which means that the spiritual energy, the frequency, I should say, the new age frequency is coming through. And it's opening up in different various spots. How intelligent the universe is, why is it doing at certain spots? I don't know. I can't answer this all for you. But I have now finally come across people, finally I'm secretly in contact with people who know all this. And I have found a guru, which me and my wife will be going to help us understand this chakra opening. Now, of course, I'm not going to tell anyone who this person is until after I have done this process, because of the fact I have very, very obsessive people who wants to come after me. I have very obsessive, I never thought I would use the word fans, who just are wanting to just wanting to go anywhere that I go. This one particular guy is just so obsessed with me, he watches my every blog and then he writes somewhere else of what I'm writing. And I was at a point where I had to call the FBI and the police station. So FBI is investigating this one thing with my attorney. And so yeah, I'm at that point where when you open up yourself to the world, especially the kind of things that I teach or talk about, which is astrology, which is a very, very sacred science. People think it's not even a science, but it's actually a super science. It's such a super science that it's not astrology that is wrong. It's the astrologer like us that misinterpret some of the slokas, some of the concepts, and then when we try to make a prediction, it doesn't come true, and the client will think, oh, this is not right, this is not accurate. No, it's the people, the astrologer itself, who's taking this equation of E equal MC squared and making a goulage out of it. Instead of, see, it's like giving a 3rd century scholar E equals MC squared and say, solve this. What is it? It'll take 1,000 years just to understand its energy equals mass times the speed squared, or speed of light squared. Then another 1,000 years to really understand what this really is and how we can use it in our life. That's how astrology is. We learn it, but it takes 7 lives to learn astrology. And at the same time, when I talked about how This is another point where I talked about how a lot of people are coming, like especially when I do career consultation for people on my website, I get people who I'm now starting to see, before I did the Ascension video, that they're coming into this shift or this time period in Vedic astrology called Mahadasha, Charadasha, Kal Chakradasha. These are time periods that a human is going through. And depending upon which planetary time period you're in, you're going to feel that energy. This is why you sometimes, you see lawyers become astrologers. It's not because they woke up one day on their birthday and say, I want to do this. No, it is the destiny and the wheel of time coming into play. It's like, here's the arrow, and then you're switching the dial, and the dial, ding, this is where everything opens up. The Pandora box opens up. So then after that, I saw more people who came to me and asked me, look, I'm feeling this, why? And I clearly saw either they were just about to go into their Ketu Mahadasha, they were in their Jupiter Mahadasha, who was in the nakshatra of Ketu, or they were going through a planetary period which was connected with such a yoga, which is connected to the astral world. They were going through Charadasha, which is another time cycle of signs, and they were going through or starting the sign where Jupiter is placed in the 12th house, or Ketu aspects that sign, or Ketu is placed there. This shift, this is why I'm telling you right now, not everybody is going to feel this. This is why astrology is super science connected with everything that is happening. Is that only the few folks out of 1,000 people, only 100 or 200 will probably be going through this time cycle that will experience what we or some of us are experiencing. So this is why I said only a select few will have certain portals opening. Select few will be going through this dimensional shift. Why only a select few? Once I know the answers, trust me, I will make that video. But what this video I wanted to do is talk about the fourth dimension. Okay? What is fourth dimension? Ascension. First of all, we live in a three-dimensional world, not because of this physical world, no. We live in a physical, mental, and emotional. These are the three things we're always dealing with. Either we're dealing with our physical pain, or we're dealing with our mental pain, or we are dealing with our emotional pain. But the fourth dimension, what happens is imagine this tube. Like an architect, he goes to an office with a tube with his 4 plans in. Imagine this tube is in front of you, this size of the screen, okay? Fourth dimension is the dimension of the psychic realm. The past, present, future is right there in front of you in one snapshot. And this is part of that chakra opening. You know how some people are just gifted with that. Then there are certain people who suddenly develop that. That's what fourth dimension is. You're able to see everything in this one tube. Now, here's the thing. Let's say you can open up your chakras, okay, with your audio listening to from YouTube video. You open up the chakra and you do ascend to this fourth dimensional level, which is not like your body's going to become light and go to a different planet. No, it's you now connected to the astral world. That 12th house of astrology, where the entities and spiritual beings live, and the mysteriousness of this life lives. If you can see the past, present, future, and let's say your loved one is in front of you, and you saw that in the very near future, something's going to happen that could take you away from them, or take them away from you. Would you really want to know? Do you want to know that a truck is going to hit you in 5 years and you'll never be able to walk? Do you know that? This is why a guru is important. And if not a guru, you need to let the universe naturally do its process. Because when things progress naturally, instead of putting steroids into something, that's the healthiest way. So what happens when you find this guru, and all the people who are going through these things, experiencing all these things that are talked about, you will find a guru. As I found one, and I'm going to go see it with my wife, you will all find a guru who will help you control this fourth dimensional energy. You will be able to block certain things that you do not need to know or want to know. But you will see lives in a snapshot. And then comes the fifth dimension, which I will discuss later, not in this video. But I want to talk about that everybody wants to ascend. They're like, oh, God, I wish I was on the fourth dimension. Well, here's the thing. Your body is a vessel, a physical three-dimensional vessel. You have a brain and you have this nervous system. If you were to ascend to the fourth dimension right now with the condition that you are in, unprepared, let's say you went into the NBA finals without ever shooting a basketball and you had to take the last shot and the whole city's legacy is dependent upon you. Imagine the fear that you're going to be in. Same thing. You should not want to ascend to a different dimension or different level without being prepared, without at least knowing how to shoot a normal basketball. So you need to make a fool out of yourself. This is why your body has to be prepared. You have to go through these opening of the chakra slowly, one chakra at a time. You have to change your diet slowly. This is why 7-year period. It's not going to happen after watching this video. You're going to ascend to the fifth dimension. No. It's a process that's going to take place that's going to prepare you on the 7th year. From the 7th year after 2022 is when you will be now facing that challenge of being on the basketball court and Michael Jordan's going to pass you the ball at the last second and you have to shoot that ball. Whether you get it in or not, you should be trained enough to at least hit the rim. And this is the ascension that is now taking place. There's going to be more things that are going to be happening. With this magnetic pole shift is the reason why the earthquakes are happening, and more earthquakes will happen. The storms will happen. Some of the big heavy storms that were recorded in the past are going to come back again. It's not just us. This earth itself is a living creature. These planets that we use for astrology are living beings. They know exactly what you're thinking. They know exactly how you respect each planet. They know exactly who you killed or what you did that was malefic or benefic. These are such high spiritual beings going around us. And it's funny how when I wrote my science fiction books, KRSchannel, The Message of Pascal, I wrote a trilogy where on the third one, these human beings actually go to the place where this source energy exists. And they get to find something about these planets, which I won't reveal. It's a very creative thing that I wrote. And I don't know how I wrote it, how I came upon it, but our planets are here to save Earth. They're like these spiritual gurus of Earth who are here protecting it and guiding it. But, enough of this fictional stuff. I want to talk about, I want to get the real stuff out. So you guys know the process that all the people are going through and all the other new symptoms that we're going to go through. I will make a video on that. But I just wanted to clear some of the things that thousands of you sent me after watching my Ascension video. So I hope this video was just as helpful as the first one. I hope this has given you more clarity, more support, I guess, to help you understand not to force things upon yourself and how are things perceived. Okay? And if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know, what's going on with your planetary placements or, your career, for that, you can check out the links here with my books and everything. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with some astrology video. Bye-bye.